My name is Scott Ziegler, and I'm the Dean of the Southeast Regional Chapter for Young Organists, which is a new virtual chapter. It's part of the American Guild of Organists. And I'm here today with Dr. Laura Ellis, who is Associate Professor of Organ, Carillon, Harpsichord, and just music in general at the University of Florida. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. This is great.
So this is the first interview in a set of interviews to offer tools for young organists to get acclimated with the AGO, for professional development, for various reasons. And we're here today to talk about leadership in the AGO and the American Guild of Organists and how you can be a part of the leadership in the Guild.
So the first thing, when I think of the Guild, I think of the membership. So it's you, it's me, it's all the people that are listening to this interview. We're the organization, and we're the future of the organization. And then we belong to those people that are chapters, of those people that are close to us, either by distance-wise or by interest, which is really happening with this virtual chapter. And so that's our main connection, is our local chapter. Then we have some things on the regional level, and that's where I've been involved lately, is on the regional level. Here in the Southeast, I'm the regional councillor, which essentially is sort of the top looking down a little bit, and then each chapter, or each state, has a district convener. So as a general chapter member, the people you can talk to are your leadership in your local chapter, then your district convener, and then your regional councillor. So that's sort of the local conduit. Within our Southeast region, we also have a point person for education, and we have a point person for professional concerns. So we have some resources within the region that you can talk to. When you look at the bigger organization, then, we have 7 regional councillors at different parts of the country, and then we have the National Council. And so the 7 regional councillors report to the Council for Membership, who is one of the people on the National Council. So I like to think it all starts on the local level, but your voice can be heard at the national level. Just sort of let us know what you want your voices to be heard and what you want to say.
Have you served on the local level at all?
Yeah, actually, and it's been mostly small chapters. I've always lived in areas of the country where the organ chapters have been small, 15, 20 people. But I served as a dean when I was in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, chapter in the Portsmouth area. So I served dean there for a number of years. And then when I lived in West Texas, I was dean of the Big Country chapter, the AGO, Big Country out there. Yeah, it's great. Also a small chapter, but had a lot of things going. And then when I moved here to Gainesville, I was dean of the Gainesville chapter for a few years as well. So I think it's always fun being dean of a chapter because you really get to know the membership. And you get to learn about the resources in the area. And you can also contribute to a little bit of the musical life, the organ life in the area.
What exactly does it take for an AGO chapter to sponsor events over the course of the year? The kinds of meetings that happen, the duties that AGO leadership are responsible for?
Well, I think it happens on a number of levels. First, there's the social level. And those are probably the cheapest things to put together. You have the dinners, you have the potlucks, you have the social things, which I think is really important. It gives you get a chance to talk to people on a one-on-one basis, and you also get the chance just to hang out and have some fun with people that share your own interests, which I think is really important. So there's the social level, and then I think there's the level of using the resources in your own chapter to put on programs, be it like little advent programs, be it a hymn festival, be it a pedals, pipes, and pizza that you want to put on the local level, putting those things together, which don't have to cost a lot of money, right? You can have an introduction to the organ for local high school kids that just is your time. It's not really costing money. And then I think the third type of event would be where you're bringing in a guest artist. That's going to include some financial resources that you have to make sure the chapter has. You may or may not coordinate with a church in town or coordinate with another sort of musical organization to help pay for it. But I sort of see those are the type of events that you can look at. And I think all chapters need all those events. You need the things where you can talk to each other. You need to share your resources with the community. You need to share your gifts with the community. And then bring into the community some outside people, some really good performers and players.
So what advice can you offer to a new member of the AGO? How can they get acclimated to the Guild? How can they network with us? How can they be a part of what we do?
You know, that's a really good question. I think a couple of things. First off, realize that you may not know anybody when you walk in a room, and that's okay. But when you walk in a room where you don't know anybody, you have to reach out just a little bit. We always hope, and it's our goal, I think, as a chapter, that you would want your chapter members to reach out to the person that's not known in the room. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. Be it people aren't thinking, or they just have other things on their mind. So don't be offended, I guess I'm trying to say, if somebody doesn't come up to you right away and welcome you. I don't think it's because they don't want to know you, it's probably they've got something else going on. So if you're walking into that concert or that potluck and you don't know anybody, try to reach out and get to know someone. And I think you'll find that most people are really receptive. But it's hard to reach out, so try and get over that little hurdle. And then make sure that you're getting the newsletters or whatever correspondence your chapter is doing, and volunteer to perform, volunteer to bring that, like that potato dish that you actually can make, and bring it to the potluck, or you go buy and get the cookies and the brownies that you can just get at the grocery store, whatever, but volunteer to bring something. And if there's a possibility of being on a committee, I know the group that I'm speaking to today really has some great technical skills. So you might volunteer to help with the newsletter. You might volunteer to help with the website, because most likely the person that's doing the website, not all the time, but is someone who doesn't really know as much as you guys do about doing a website. So I would say one way to really get to know people is to reach out and volunteer to help in some of those areas.
So it all starts with volunteering and reaching out, connecting with your local chapter, and I guess, creating a relationship in your local chapter, and then from there on, the regional and national level kind of comes after that.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Again, this is Dr. Laura Ellis and Scott Ziegler from the University of Florida. Thanks again.